Cak, ada satu soalan dekat kau ni.
Aduh, apa pula kau ni? Apa dia?
Apa beza kau dengan bakteria?
Aku baik, bakteria jahat.
Salah lah, Cak. Dua-dua tak ada beza sebenarnya. Sebab dua-dua diperlukan di dunia ni. Ya, Cia! Milu, siapa? Milu!
Apa pasal bakteria pun diperlukan? Bukan semua bakteria jahat ke? Peliklah kau ni pagi-pagi.
Betul lah, Cak. Bakteria ada baik dan ada juga bakteria jahat. Bakteria yang baik, dia stabilkan ekosistem dan dia juga produce vitamin kepada manusia, Cak. Aku tak goreng.
Mana dah? Dia semuanya dunia. Tak percaya aku.
Apa benda kau ni?
Apa kau ni cedek? Mana dah?
Acak, betul lah. Aku nak tipu kau. Kita pernah mandi kolah sama-sama kot. Aku tak tipu kau, Jap. Jap, aku tak tipu.
Tipu.
Jap.
Terus semua jahat. Sial je, baik.
That is really happened around our society. The first misconception is bacteria is only found in dirty surface, and the second one is that bacteria are always bad, and that's why that surgeons dangerous require replacing. Just kidding. Those are both are not correct. First of all, they're probably aware bacteria is on dirty surface, but also bacteria is everywhere. For example, bacteria in our house. Yes, even a very clean house, they are found outside also. And bacteria colonize our skin and our digestive system. For the second misconception, that most of us say that bacteria are bad, but I can say that I'm sure that a lot of bacteria have a bad reputation, but they also have the benefit. They also make a good things. We're gonna give you some examples. Some of the bacteria that colonize our skin are beneficial and actually help keep from harmful. Others bacteria in our digestive system actually help break down food, and some can produce certain vitamins. And some types of bacteria are used in producing some foods that we eat. Or for ecosystem, bacteria have a very important role as a decomposer. Bacteria also have a major role in the nitrogen cycle to fix nitrogen.
Bacterial cell walls made up from polysaccharides that give them strength. So, rigid body of cell walls is important because what? Because bacteria experience or go through various experience osmotic pressure. So it is used for what? It is to prevent it from shrinking or swelling. Cell walls, bacteria create from peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan create from acid amino and sugar. So there are various cell walls in bacteria. So we can determine it using gram stain procedure. So first, we use it crystal violet, then wash it using gram staining solution. So we can add that contains gram using sulfuronic and fluid sense gram. For the result of the gram stain procedure, for gram stain positive bacteria, in the microscope it seems like a purple bacteria, but whereas for the gram stain negative, it's gonna see at microscope it is like pink color. So there are two reasons why gram negative bacteria the color is pink. First, the outer membrane is thin, which is what? It is lack of peptidoglycan. So the outer layer of gram negative bacteria getting weight of the crystal violet. Bacteria can classify as a gram positive and negative based on physical properties. So gram positive bacteria have 30 layers of peptidoglycan. Negative gram bacteria is only have thin peptidoglycan layer.
Okay, for the cell structure, I'm going to make it simple. That so the first one, you're going to see that there are ribosome, cytoplasm, cell membrane, And usually all bacteria have cell wall. Like all living organisms, bacteria have DNA. The strand DNA, while still double-stranded, is arranged in a circular shape. Depending on the species, bacteria can also have flagellum to help with a movement. A capsule which can help them give extra protection or attachment abilities, or pili which can help with attaching to surface including each other. And also many bacteria have plasmid, which is basically like extra DNA lah.
As you can see, there are a few components in our 3D model. Let me talk to it for you. Okay, let's start with the biggest component out there. The biggest part of the orange one is known as capsule. Inside the capsule, there are two other major components, that is cell wall, the blue one, and plasma membrane, the green one. There are a few other organelles inside the bacteria such as nucleus, cytoplasm, ribosome, and also granule. The tail-like structure that is attached to the capsule is called as flagellum. Last but not least, there are pillars surrounding the bacteria itself.
So we have three types of way of bacteria living. First, we have obligate aerobics. Next, we have obligate anaerobics. And lastly, we have facultative anaerobics. Obligate aerobics means it's needs or required, but facultative means it's optional. So obligate aerobics means it needs oxygen. So obligate anaerobics it means it's no needs oxygen. And also facultative anaerobics it means it's optional. It can live by have oxygen or in absence of oxygen.
Heterotrophic bacteria. Most prokaryote came autotroph that take in organic nutrients. Aerobic saprotroph decompose most less organic molecules to smaller molecules. It is essential component of a healthy ecosystem. Other than that, there are also bacteria that are free-living or symbiotic. The types of symbiotic are mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. For mutualism, both species benefit from association. Mutualistic bacteria live in human intestine and release vitamin B, B12 and K, which help produce blood components. For commensalism, one population modifies the environment in such a way that a second population benefits. Obligate and aerobes live in our intestine because of bacterium E. coli without oxygen. And lastly, for parasitism, parasites benefit a host expands. Disease-causing bacteria are called pathogens. There is two types of autotrophic bacteria, that is photoautotroph and chemoautotroph. For photoautotroph, it uses solar energy to reduce carbon dioxide to organic compounds. It is also photosynthetic, which means the process by which green plants and some other organisms use sunlight to synthesize nutrients from carbon dioxide and water. So, in this process, the thing that are going to happen is anoxygenic and oxygenic. For chemoautotroph, it oxidizes inorganic compound to obtain energy, and then the energy they had produced is used to reduce carbon dioxide to an organic compound. Bacteria that obtain energy required for metabolic process from exothermic oxidation of inorganic or simple organic compound without the aid of light. And then there is difference between anoxygenic photosynthesis and oxygenic photosynthesis. For anoxygenic photosynthesis, it does not produce oxygen, and it undergoes only photosystem 1 only, and it has unique type of chlorophyll called bacterial chlorophyll. For oxygenic photosynthesis, it produces oxygen and it undergoes photosystem 1 and 2. Bacterial disease in humans. There are many categories of disease that causes by bacteria. For example, sexually transmitted disease, nervous system disease, and systemic disease. The disease from these categories such as syphilis, gonorrhea, botulism, tetanus, and diphtheria.
Antibiotic compound can be classified into two classes, which is compound that inhibit protein biosynthesis and compound that inhibit cell wall biosynthesis. Erythromycin and tetracycline inhibit protein biosynthesis by affecting bacterial ribosome. Next, Antibiotic that inhibit cell wall biosynthesis block the formation of peptidoglycan. For information, peptidoglycan is a compound that is necessary for maintaining the integrity of bacterial cell wall. This antibiotic inhibit bacterial cell wall biosynthesis without harming animal cells. Example of the bacteria is penicillin and ampicillin. Nowadays, bacterial resistance to antibiotic has increasing due to excessive use of antibiotic. Genes conferring resistance can be transferred among bacteria by transformation, conjugation, or transduction. For example, nowadays, 90% of Staphylococcus aureus are resistant to penicillin and increasingly resistant to methicillin.
Cyanobacteria used to be called blue-green algae or cyanophytes because of its color. That cyanobacteria are gram-negative bacteria. They are photosynthetic. Cyanobacteria was believed to be responsible for introducing oxygen into the primitive atmosphere. Lastly, characteristics of cyanobacteria are they lack visible means of locomotion and can live in extreme environments. Cyanobacteria can survive in a variety of conditions in nearly every ecosystem on Earth, but they have their limits. When cyanobacteria is in association with fungi, they form lichens. What is lichen? Lichens provide constant source of nourishment for both cyanobacteria and fungi. They also possess heterosis, cell without nuclei, where nitrogen fixation occurs. For the last point, cyanobacterial blooms result from pollution in lakes and ponds.
To sum up, I'm gonna say that bacteria already involved in our daily life since a long time ago. It's used for produce yeast or produce cheese, rubber, butter, and a lot of things, even antibiotics for our benefits. So if we see there are a lot of bad bacteria, but the good bacteria never stop doing the good. So if we apply this in our daily life, please, I'm just gonna say this, please, don't stop doing good because of bad people. Jadi